Okay, so I recently was watching a video, that was a reply video to one of my videos, and a person stated that you're living the dream. And I thought about that, and it wasn't a negative thing. Well, actually they stated you're living the fantasy. Because to them, they want to be where I'm at. But from my perspective, a quote that I would counteract their quote with would be, any situation endured long enough becomes normal. And that's the way it should be. That's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to become normal, mundane, everyday. Comfortable. Comfortable is a good word. But recently, I got a phone call from my mother, who I guess has been watching my videos, which I guess in some senses makes me feel a little awkward, because there's some things I don't think I could ever actually talk to my mother about face-to-face, in comparison to talking to 2,000 total strangers in a way less personal environment to be shared and reshared and whatnot, which is totally more comfortable. So yes, it is easier to share my innermost thoughts and, whatnot, with a blank screen, which could be 2,000 people, than it is to share them with an actual real-life person. And I complain about other people being detached from reality. But I digress. So recently my mother stated that, she would be willing to help me out with some money, a loan for SRS, which to me was a real kind of like, whoa. Because when you really think about that statement, and you think about where I used to be with my mother, and where I am now, and people would say, well, how did you do it? How did you get there? And that answer is really simple, but no one's going to like it. I simply lived my life. It's one thing when you say you want to do something or that you are a certain way. But it's a whole nother when you start demonstrating it and you start showing it on a day-to-day basis. So I guess the old adage, actions speak louder than words, really do ring true. But I thought this went a long way towards stating, because I've always gotten a lot of messages of, my mother doesn't accept me, I finally came out, and I didn't get immediate acceptance, and it hurts, because we spent all this time trying to keep this deep, dark, and dirty little secret, and when we finally come out and we get up enough nerve, it's kind of like, is this your way of trying to say you're gay? Is this a phase? Is this, it's because you're a teenager and you'll grow out of it, so on and so on. And I know people always react to, heartache and it really hurts and whatnot, and it's the end of the world, because I felt that way too. But I want you all to keep one thing in mind, because eventually, if you really are going to pursue this path, you have to come out to the people that you love. And the thing to keep in mind is, as long as they don't say, I never want to see you again, you're going to burn in hell, how does this affect me? What are the neighbors going to say? What did I do wrong? Which they may say that, that one's a possibility. Or they could just deny the whole conversation. But as long as they don't out and out reject you, as long as they don't tell you that they never want to see you again, there's room. There's room for them to come around. And how do they come around? Well, instead of saying to that mother, I would be much happier being a boy or girl, you simply prove it to them by living every single day that way. And eventually, if they really do love you, which, let's face it, if they haven't kicked you out and told you to get lost and that they never want to see you again, they love you. Then eventually they will come around. It really is that simple. I know, it's hard to believe, but it really is. Don't take my word for it. Live your own life and you'll see. But what I'd really like to do with this video is I was thinking how great it would be for people to just do a quick, short little where you once were, who rejected you, how it felt to be rejected, and then to state how your relationship is with those person now. Those people, that person now. And it could be your relationship with your daughter, or your son, or your wife, or your husband, or your parents, or even how your best friends were like, dude, and talk about how they came around and some of the things you saw, and they were no longer, dude, the football game, yeah, and did you need me to open that beer for you? Or whatever it may be. But participate or don't, I can understand either way. I was just thinking that it would be a really great thing for future generations of not YouTube, not MySpace, not the internet, because living on the internet saying that you are one way isn't really being that way. It's not until people see you, hear you, interact with you, and truly see you as who you are that you become that person, even though already you are, but reality is a matter of perception. Ooh, cryptic stuff. But anyway, so this is Ariana Lynn Fails, questioning your perception of reality, and hoping that you'll share yours with me.